Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 289 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go see some new changes over at patreon.com/2playercoop, where for just $1, and like I said, changes, $1, you're a booster. This doesn't change. You get the podcast live one day early. New tier, $3. You become a sponsor, where you get a bonus episode of the podcast every month. Now, Sean, you might be saying, what?
The way you said $3, it sounded like the soup Nazi. You want the bread? $3!
Well, for $3, you might be saying, wait, Kevin, I thought it used to be $5.
I thought it used to be $5.
To get to get a bonus episode. And I would say, you're right, Sean, it did used to be.
That is correct.
But as we announced today on Twitter and in our Discord, which you can join if you would like, it's in the description of the YouTube video, we want to make some changes to Patreon in all seriousness.
Should we do a Discord?
No, because it's just, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's, what the hell was I saying? Oh, we want to give more value to our patrons. We love you all. Everyone that supports us, everyone that's ever supported us, thank you so much. But we wanted to make some changes and give more value to each tier, and I think we've done that. So now for $3, you become a sponsor. You get access to the bonus episode every month. I will go back and make every video available for $3. If you come in at the $3 level, you'll be able to get all the old bonus episodes as well. I just need to remember to actually do that. $5, you're still a producer, but now to be a producer, you can watch us record the podcast live on YouTube, like our friends are right now.
The beautiful people.
$10 is still an affiliate, but we changed this up. So now what we're going to start doing, everybody at the $10 level or above, I'm going to do a post on Patreon towards the end of the month, every month. You can ask us any questions you want. Video game, movies, fast food, mild sauce, life advice, depression, anything.
I like that mild sauce was a standalone category from fast food.
Because it's mild sauce is the GOAT. We don't even need to get into it. We'll save it for another time. But then if you're $10 level or above, you can ask us anything you want about anything, and then we'll post a separate video for the $10 and up supporters from that list. Then for $20, we still got the partner tier. You can choose the bonus episode topic. If you wish, you can also record with us. So that's our new Patreon.
Before we move on.
Yes. I hope everybody likes it.
One other quick thing. Obviously, we're still pretty small in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like we've been doing pretty good numbers lately. Our subs have been going up. Our views have been going up. So, A, thank you. And B, if there's any of these new people watching right now, drop in the comments, say hello, say something. We'd love to hear from you, and let us know where you found us. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, the podcast's been doing really well. Cuphead didn't do well, which I'm fine with because I don't ever want to play that friggin' game again. But some of our patrons deserve a shout-outs, and those would be our affiliates. James Solar, also check out James Games and More on YouTube. Sarah Solar, John Tingley, and Derek Bamford. Also our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and newest patron, Chris Peralta. Make sure you check out PS Rewind on YouTube. Thank you, guys. We love y'all.
Yes.
If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. Before we get into everything else, I want to say a big shout out to Colin and Micah. Congratulations on the engagement.
Yes, that's awesome.
Knew it was coming, but it's still good to actually see it happen. And of course, some people are like, "Oh, I don't see Greg replying. Greg, where's Greg?"
I mean, he's not.
He doesn't care. And Colin reached out privately to say congrats when he and Jen got married. But like, also Greg's dealing, his wife and his baby have COVID. Now he has COVID too. So he's got other things going on. So just don't be like harassing him. It's just get over it. It's over. Colin's doing way better than he ever was doing it. Kind of funny. So let's just leave it at that. But congrats to Colin and to Micah. Long time coming. Very happy. Interested to see if they have kids. Because Colin was always like, yeah, I don't know.
What are Micah's thoughts? Or do we not know?
I think she might have said at some point. And I think Colin has softened to the idea over the years. Like Greg, I don't think he wanted kids either. But obviously he's a dad now with a 6-month-old or whatever he is. But
kids are great.
Kids are great.
I have a 6-month-old, so I think Greg's baby is 9
younger
or 10
or older?
months.
Okay.
Older, I thought.
Okay.
I don't know. But I feel like he had it before I had mine. Burp.
Another burp. Also, one other funny thing that I noticed. I don't know how many other people noticed this on Twitter, but PlayStation sent out a tweet to say on Friday that pre-orders were live for God of War, the Jotnar edition. And I've heard a lot, like Colin specifically says Jotnar.
I don't think so.
It's got to be Jotnar, I would think.
It's Jotunheim. It's not Jotunheim, so I assume it's Jotnar.
That is correct. Whenever I take a drink, I need you to just say something. So we don't have the pregnant pause. So the Jotnar edition, God of War regular edition, and the collector's edition. However, something very funny happened. And I tweeted it and I took a screenshot of it. Because in the announcement, the tweet said, God of War pre-orders are live now, out November 9th, 2022. And I watched the little video and it shows some actual gameplay and stuff. That's cool. Apparently Kratos has a freaking grappling hook now. I don't know if we knew that. But he grapples to a point, goes up there and starts bashing on a ogre or orc or whatever they are. And then at the end, it says, God of War Ragnarok, out 11/11/2022. And I went, oh! So clearly they took the tweet down, re-uploaded it with the correct date, with a longer video, 30 seconds instead of 15. But I just thought it was funny because to me, like Sean and I were texting, clearly they wanted to take 11/11/22 after Starfield left it. But at some point they said, we shouldn't do this. We can't do this, whatever.
I mean, in the end, who cares? And we're getting the game a couple days early. Mm-hmm. But part of me wishes they would have just kept it. I think it would have been funny.
I agree.
But whatever.
But I think, to me at least, it's clear that they wanted that date. And at some point somebody said we shouldn't do that. But I also say, who cares? How do you know that wasn't going to come out the same day as Starfield and just say, all right, let's freaking go. Head to head, let's go.
Yeah.
I would much rather play God of War than Starfield. But that's just me. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Sean, do you have any witty banter before we get to what we've been playing?
Witty banter. I don't know. What's been going on? We had a little pool party Friday.
Yep.
Kevin and I played some chicken. Both kind of hurt ourselves. Kevin's neck, my knee. My knee's fine now.
My neck is not. It's gotten worse every day. If I look up, it's like, oh. If I look down to stretch it, it's like, oh.
No, my knee's fine. I don't know what I did. I think it was when I slipped on that deep end slope. But getting old, bodies aren't holding up like they used to.
No. It's a shame it wasn't an accidental acquisition announcement.
They would never do that.
I would never get over the fact that they're like, it wasn't PlayStation America. Was it Europe or was it Japan? I can't remember. But for what John is saying in the chat, when they announced the acquisition of Housemarque, PlayStation, PlayStation Japan or Europe or something. I forget which it was. They're like, the tweet said, welcome to the family, Housemarque. And then the image was Blue Point. And in their thing with all the images from all the games, they had a little snippet of Demon's Souls Remake. And it was like, okay, so you're acquiring them too? Like, and it took like, I don't even know what it was, 3 months or so for them to announce it. But yeah, good old PlayStation. Japan. But yeah, we've had friends over visiting this week. It's been fun. So I haven't played a lot because of that. But Sean, what have you been playing?
I have been playing the same things you have. We'll start with one. Cuphead. I beat it. I beat all of it.
Why would you say that out loud? Because now the pressure's on us to actually do this crap.
There's some like optional boss. So I beat everything. I looked at the trophies. It's just
you've already got the platinum. Who cares?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna mess with getting all. I'm probably done with it at this point. But I beat all the bosses. I beat the optional bosses.
So was it easier playing one player?
It was easier, but these, I think there's 5, and then the final boss. Those 6 bosses are probably 6 of the toughest, like 7 or 8.
Oh,
in
so
the whole
we
game.
saw 1, 2, 3. So we saw 3 of the 5.
So there's 5. There's the final boss.
Right.
There's an optional boss.
Okay.
And then there's an optional, not a gauntlet, because you get time and you just do one at a time. But there's like, I think 5, I would call them like mini bosses.
That are new?
They're all new.
Oh.
And
is that where you go up the ladder?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't,
oh God,
stay with me. You can't shoot. And I don't think you can dash. There's something else you can't do. But anyways, you fight them purely by doing your parry thing. Except in those fights, the parry actually does damage. I don't think it does any damage normally.
So they've got like a pink nose or something?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was interesting. That's the one time I actually had to use.
Did you beat it?
I beat them. I beat them all, yeah.
Okay.
There was one that I actually had to use Miss Chalice for because her parry, so her deal.
Oh, yeah, we never tried her.
She does double jump.
Okay.
But her single jump sucks. You almost need to double jump to jump over everything.
Can you double jump and then parry?
Her parry is done with the dash. And because of one of these bosses, it was a lot easier to just do a dash parry into these things rather than land on top of them.
Okay, but she still dashes, but that's what
she
triggers
dashes
the parry.
and it's her parry.
As long as you hit it somewhere in the dash.
And you can also, if you hit down and dash, you do a non-parrying dash, but I think you're like invincible or something. So she's interesting, but like,
is her super any good?
Good question.
Is it the Shinku Hadouken still, or
I don't know. I assume it's the same, but maybe not. But that was the only time I really used her was for one of those like bonus fights, whatever.
Was anything harder than the stupid robot flying boss? Because to me, that's the hardest boss. It's worse than the dragon. It's worse than the final boss.
To me,
it's probably worse than the things we tried in the Let's Play.
That's the hardest boss. I wouldn't be surprised if these... Oh, wait, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm saying 6. Really, it's 7. The 5 bosses, the final boss, and the optional boss.
Okay.
Those 7 bosses are probably 7 of the toughest 8 or 9.
Oh, my God.
And the only 2 I would put up there would be the robot and the devil. But even the devil's not even that hard. They're just very difficult. I think the
dragon was worse than the devil.
The 2, you may be right there, yeah. I think the 3 that we have fought so far are the easiest 3 of the 7. But it's tough. And I mean, they treat it and they call it, Inkwell Isle 4. Like it's just 1, 2, 3. Now there's 4.
Right.
And so I guess it makes sense because the game should get progressively harder. It was tough. It was fun. Like I got very, very angry, obviously. But then with a lot of them, it was like I would die. Ooh, I got to the second phase. Die. Second. Ooh, third phase. Die. And then all of a sudden, when I finally beat it, I would beat it like I would only get hit like once for the whole fight. And there is a new ability. I'm saying this, you may never go back and play it, but there's a new ability that you can buy in the store that I can't remember exactly how it works, but it allows you to get health back. And I think your first parry, you get 1 HP back. Not back, like even if you have full health, it just adds on an extra.
Or whatever, yeah. Okay.
So I think you get health back with your first parry, your third parry, and like your sixth parry or something. So that may be something that could be worth. Maybe that's better than the extra health power up because it doesn't affect the boss's health. It doesn't affect that, and you can easily get 1 parry. So I don't know. That may be worth trying, but I loved it, but it's way too hard.
Speaking of getting mad at it, Chris in the chat says the gnomes are giving you nightmares. Directed at me.
I hate those things.
Those freaking gnomes. If you watch the Let's Play, speaking of getting mad, also that Let's Play. So Sean and I did record a second one. I don't know. By the time this goes live, maybe I've said the hell that I'll just upload it. It just not cutting anything out. I feel like it could just the Snyder cut of it, of us dying on the third boss over and over again, and me being so tired and just done with it. But the gnomes in the boss, that's the. At first, I thought we were fighting on snow, but then it turns out it was this big dude's beard. And the gnomes, Sean's down there just waylaying this guy with a spread, just standing right next to him. Brrr, the gnomes don't care. You just see their little stupid hats sticking out of the beard. They don't care at all. As soon as I get down there, 5 of them are just... As soon as I get down there, Sean just sits down there going... Beep, beep, brrr, brrr.
No, I'm almost positive it has to do with...
Well, now, okay, but when you beat it yourself...
As soon as I went down there, they popped up.
Okay, so it's not just me. But still, they were driving me freaking nuts.
Yeah, it's just when you have 2 players, you have to both be down there to trigger
for them to go crazy. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did you get hit with the pee? The piss little bubbles?
The mustard?
Yeah, mustard. Yeah, but I called it piss when I got pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I got hit by everything.
Okay.
The optional boss is... So there's an angel and a devil. And whichever one you are... like if you're
Is it
facing...
the devil from... Like the devil from...
No, but it kind of looks
okay.
like him. If you're facing right, the devil's on the right, angel's behind you. Then if you turn around and face left, now the devil's on the left, angel's on the right. They both like shoot projectiles, and occasionally they do like a big wall that just goes across the whole screen, and you can't dodge it.
What the hell?
Meanwhile, there's a platform going back and forth with like lightning underneath. So you can't go under it, you'll get hit. And anything coming from the angel, you can see on the screen, but it's like transparent and it doesn't hurt you. So whenever they shoot the wall, you turn
towards the angel.
Away from it. You turn away from it so that the one that shot it is now the angel and it just passes through you. But when you turn around, everything that's on the screen that came from the original angel that's now the devil now can actually hurt you. It was just the biggest mind F. Like I couldn't... It took forever. Like I knew what was going on, but it was just too much for my brain to comprehend. But I beat it eventually, but it's tough. I'm down to do more co-op, but I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because
how
now I
feel.
at least know kind of the strategy to beat them all. But
yeah, we'll see. After we record this podcast, we're going to go do versus. We've got hopefully a fun episode. One
should be fun.
I've wanted to do for a while. Usually when it's SNES versus Genesis, just a little tease. Normally when we do these games, it's like Street Fighter 2 versus Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat versus Mortal Kombat, Turrican, Mega Turrican versus Super Turrican, Aladdin. But this is one of those games where it's like SNES versus Genesis, but these games could not be, with the exact same title, they could not be more different. And I'm excited to get into it because one of them I've barely played. The Genesis one we played a lot. I can't remember if we owned it, but I know we rented it multiple times. Multiple.
I kind of want to say we owned the first one and rented the second one, although maybe not. Maybe
but remember, there was also Rampage Edition. Spoiler alert.
That was the second one.
But wasn't there another one, or was that it? Were those the only two? I can't remember.
I think that was it.
There wasn't TLW?
I don't think so.
That might have been too late. But yeah, so we're gonna do that.
I don't know if you guys will be able to figure it
you
out.
might
now.
not be able to figure it out. But we may go back. We've got a game on PC. Well, a game that I own on 3DS that we've wanted to play through for a long time. So once we get through Versus, we're either going to go back to Cuphead or we're going to start a game we've wanted to play in this channel forever. It's one of my top 10 games now. Was it in your top 10 or was it? I can't remember.
It may have been.
I had it as 11 for the longest time, and I was like, I'm putting this in the top 10. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's at least in my like top 15. I don't remember if it made the top 10.
So we'll see. Because I figured out that it was impossible. There's no HDMI adapter for the 3DS. So that's stupid. So we figured out how to play it on an emulator. Perfectly legal. I own it. We both own this freaking game. So that's coming too. We're going to go hardcore into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't played that game now in 2 years.
I don't remember anything about it.
Last time I played is when I went to the UK right before COVID hit. So it's actually been 2.5 years now since I played it. So be excited for that. Next up, I guess we've both been playing this game, and this makes me happy. I only played it through the opening, through the first fight, because then everybody was here, and it's just been crazy ever since. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just like, I didn't like. We had a pool party last night for all their friends came over, and I cooked and everything, and almost died by the grill again because it's so damn hot. But Friday night I started playing my third favorite game of all time, God of War.
Same. Some quick thoughts.
How far'd you get?
I just, I don't know, 2-3 hours ago got to, what's it called? The first new realm. I almost grabbed that. The first awesome. New realm. What's the first one you go to?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
It's the one with like the elves, the light elves and the dark elves.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That place. Does it start with A? Aspelheim? Affelheim? I don't know. Anyways.
I'll look it up.
There. It is better than I remember. One thing that I'm wondering if it's part of it, because it's definitely hitting me harder and differently this time. I've had 2 kids since I last played it. So I think the whole father dynamic is just hitting differently now. Alfheim, that's the one. I will say it's not perfect.
I agree.
I hate these kind of go hand in hand. The map is completely worthless. There doesn't even need, you might as well just pause it and it's just, ooh, here's a nice artistic picture of the realm you're in.
It ain't
because
a map.
That's the only worthwhile information that gives you. Secondly, I just don't like, I mean, so far it's not a problem, but when I think ahead to probably getting the platinum, I'm already stressing out about just trying to, I feel like it's going to be like Ratchet and Clank again, where I'm just like, I've been here, but now I don't know. Now that everything's open, I don't know, and I can't get any benefit from the map. I don't know how to get around anymore now that like I've opened up. Yeah. And I've already seen things back in like the early parts of the game that I'm like, well, clearly I have to get back here because I can't open this chest yet because I don't have the such and such, and I don't even remember what the such and such is, but like it's different things that I can't open yet. And I'm just like,
God of War 2018.
Just the thought of like going back is already stressing me. Like it's just not easy to navigate. If there was like if there were like little save points and you could just fast travel to all of them, but like if I want to go back to my house, I need to, best I can do is fast travel to the dwarf guy, right? The upgrade guy. That's like right by the gate and whatever. And then I'm
brothers,
just huffing
what the hell are their names? Yeah.
Bork and
Schmork.
Whatever their names are. Brock, I was close.
Brock and Sindri.
Yeah. I can fast travel to him and then I'm just huffing it back to like my house, right? And I'm just
think
like,
so.
I wouldn't even know how to do it. Like, the map is not going to help me at all. Oh, I go southwest. I mean, at least I can align the compass, you know. I don't know. All that aside, and just the different realms, even though I've only been to one new one so far, I still just can't wrap my brain around it. But I am definitely liking it better than I remembered. I'm playing it on easy because I kind of just want to get the story again and whatever. But I'm enjoying it. It looks beautiful. I didn't realize it wasn't actually a PS5 update. It's still just a PS4 game.
It's a 4K 60 FPS update, yeah.
Which only works on the PS5. Right. It just seems so weird. Like, how do they do that? How is this even still a PS4 game if it's got features that you can only do...
Yeah. It's so weird. But that's Sony, and that's why I will say I was wrong about Xbox and their smart delivery stuff. It turned out to be a lot better than I thought it would be, because on the PlayStation side, it's all just so confusing.
Yeah, but no, I'm digging it. It's definitely making me already look forward to Ragnarok more than I had been. So I'm enjoying it. But I'm probably going to put it down here in a couple days because there's something else I got to play, but that should be pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
I love this freaking game. And even though I only played it for like an hour, just getting through that first... Like, I remember that the first boss fight against the stranger was awesome. I didn't remember how awesome it is.
Oh, one more thing that I was able to fix, change. I hated the controls. Like, by default, X is like evade, and circle is like pick stuff up and interact. I'm like, circle should never, ever, ever do that.
No, I didn't change anything in circle's evade for me.
Oh, I had to flip it. And I think it's even called flipped. It's like,
oh my God, I wonder, maybe it loaded
it carried it over. But yeah, by default, X evades and circle is picking stuff up and opening chests. I'm like,
that's horrible.
Why would that ever be default? But whatever.
That is so weird because I started playing and circle was evade. Yeah, that's super weird. Good, Rasan, you finished the workout. Good job. Yeah, that first boss fight is just amazing. And even then, talking about the father-son stuff, you see right from the jump. Like, yeah, he's annoyed with Atreus when he's hunting the deer and he shoots it too quick and everything. He's like, give me your freaking bow, you little... But then, like, they come across the orc or the troll, whatever the thing is, that grabs Atreus, and he's like, "What the hell? No!" And I forgot that he grabbed the poor dead deer too. Yeah. And then you fight him, and it's awesome and everything. And then you feel like Atreus after it's over, and he's just, and then his asthma or whatever starts taking over, and he's like, "Dad, I'm fine. I haven't had an issue in a while." Blah blah blah. At that point, you're like, "What issue? What are we talking about?" But then you get back to the house, and as soon as somebody knocks on the door, and he's like, "I know you're in there. I know who you are." And Atreus is like, "Who is this?" He's like, "I don't know, but get down."
And one thing that, now that I'm playing through it again,
did you see it?
I looked for it
because Corey has said you can see it. I've never seen it.
I'm guessing you could see it
if you like
wrapped up. Like, I don't think you actually see it. But anyways, it was just cool because you hear him say, "I thought you told me never to go down there." I'm like,
Well, originally, Corey did say, they had it like glowing, and he was like, "This is way too obvious. Take that out of there. That's it's." People are gonna be like, "What? He won't let his son go down there, and then there's something glowing." I know what used to glow, but he puts him down there. He puts the rug over, and he goes to open the door.
Wait, so are you there yet in your game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, where?
To that part.
Through this fight, I got through the fight, and then I stopped, and it was just. You see them going through freaking mountains and everything, and Kratos is hitting him with a freaking like a redwood or something.
Oh, and he grabs it and just like through mountains and like pins him against the wall.
And he's like, "You can't do nothing. I don't feel anything." And then you fight and you fight and you fight, and it's mostly fisticuffs, and because that's how you can actually hurt him. But then when it gets to the end and you're just covered in blood and he's covered in blood and he's got him in a rear naked choke and he's like, he tries to get out and he's like, "Get your hand back." And it's just like, it's like watching like a UFC fight or something, and then he just, and then.
Well, but see, at one point, even after the stranger just kind of like heals and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel any." At one point,
blood disappears and everything.
But there's also at one point where Kratos does the same thing.
Yeah.
He's all like bloody and then he just goes, and it just goes away. I'm like, well, How do I do that? Why
Yeah.
can't I just all of a sudden heal in the middle of the battle?
Well, and I can remember the first time I played it when the Spartan Rage meter fills up for the first time.
Oh, that's so
and
much fun.
And it's just, like, this is freaking best game ever.
It also just seems like there's so much stuff, and it kind of reminds me of Horizon.
The
So much
collectibles?
stuff that I just, not the collectibles, almost the upgrades. Like,
Yeah.
I've got some armors, of which there are 3 different ones, and then you can upgrade them, but I'm like, I don't want to waste stuff upgrading something that's only like rare. I want to wait to get something that's like epic or legendary or whatever and upgrade that. So I'm not upgrading any of that. I've got like some of the like you can change the handle, the hilt, whatever you call it, but when I'm reading the effects that it does, I'm like, I'm never gonna remember to do any of that, so I don't bother with that. You can equip like the light, what do they call it? Almost like magic attacks, like L1 and R1 or L1 and R2, and I'm like, okay, but I never remember to use those. There's so many different things you can upgrade that I'm like, I never used it, and I haven't looked at the trophy list close enough to know, do I eventually have to upgrade all these things to the top? I know obviously I've got to max out the axe and you got the bow, but like,
you got to max out that. And
I'm just like, there's so much of the stuff I just don't care about. Like, I'm never going to use this stuff.
And you got to max your health all the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. And again, I say like I did 4.5 years ago, Sony Santa Monica should make a freaking Superman game. I know Sony's in with Marvel now. They got Insomniac doing that. But like just the way that first fight was, and this is one of my tweets that's gone viral, but way back then, after I played through that first boss fight, I hadn't listened to a spoiler cast or anything, but something on Kind of Funny back then, Greg was talking about that first fight, and I got to it. And at first I thought it was just a troll fight. And I was like, well, that was fine, but why is everybody saying? And then I got to the fight against the stranger. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, and I tweeted him and I was like, can we just get Santa Monica to make a Superman game? And he like retweeted it, and I was like, oh God, no. Anytime somebody like that retweets it, I'm like, oh God, okay, just turn off notifications. And it just blew up. But I was like, the way that first fight is done, I could see that being Superman and insert, bad guy X. Like, it's just
Zod.
so freaking cool. And especially they get airborne and stuff, and it's magical. And I can't remember, well, I won't say that, but it's amazing. I think I'm definitely going to play through it all the way, even though I've already played through it twice.
I'm definitely going to beat it. I don't know how I feel about the platinum. I looked up a guide.
You got to at least try some of the Valkyries.
I want to experience some of that. But like when I was looking up a guide about the collectibles, I mean, it was the trophy guide, but in mentioning the collectibles, I feel like it was talking about all of them, or maybe it was just talking about the Ravens or the something, whatever. I don't know.
There's like lost souls and stuff.
But
like
there's
that.
one thing. It was like, even if you go through the whole game and you don't collect any of them, you can go back afterwards and collect them all in about 50 minutes. And I'm like, just what I've seen so far, I already call BS. Maybe they were only talking about the Ravens or something like that. But I'm like, 50 minutes? Like,
no. From what I remember, it was probably because I got some Ravens throughout the game, some of the lost soul things, like the story things. But I feel like when I went back and did everything, it was probably 2 hours minimum, maybe 3 hours
to get all the collectibles.
Well, so it's not horrible, but it's like it's one night of just like, okay, all I'm gonna do is follow the guide, get this Raven, blah 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 blah. And I am doing New Game Plus just because I didn't want to deal with upgrading anything. I'm like, I'll deal with that with the new game. I've already got level 9. I've upgraded everything I want. Like, I just want to play through the game and be super powerful, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I did upgrade to PS Plus Extra. Just because I was like, Stray's out on Tuesday. I can either buy Stray for, I believe, $25, or even if it's 20, whatever. Or I can upgrade for the next 209 days to the PS Plus Extra for $23. So I was like, okay, I'm in. I don't know if I'm going to keep it next year, but at least for this, I'm like, it makes sense. I've got PS Plus. I want to play Stray. I might as well just pay $23 instead of $25, and now I can play all these other games. So
yeah.
So I'll probably dive into stuff there at some point too, but I want to get through.
So you haven't looked around at all to find?
I looked around a little bit,
play.
And honestly, nothing was jumping out at me. I'm like, oh, that's on here. Guardians is on here. Well, I own that. Red Dead's on here. Well, I bought that. Like, I'm like, man, I don't know, but who cares? There's going to be more games coming, and I wanted to play Stray, and now I can still play Stray, but like, you know.
There's some games that, like, yeah, a lot of the main ones I already own.
Like Messenger, I own.
Red Dead is one of the only ones that I
own.
didn't, but I'm like, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about the game.
Yeah.
The only other one that's keeps catching my eye, but I'm like, I can't just dive in is, well, I think there's a lot of them on there, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
They're all there now.
I've never played any of them.
I played Origin, or not,
but they
Origins.
all
I
seem
played Odyssey
really cool. But I'm like,
hours.
I can't start that now.
Valhalla is just way too big.
Yeah,
I liked Odyssey, the bit that I played, but I played for about 10 hours and got to the point where I started sailing, and I was like, people love the sailing in Assassin's Creed, and I don't like this. And then something else came out. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
but have you played anything else?
That's it. Just those two.
It's two good games to play. Sean, you want to get news of the week?
Let's do it.
Weird stomach noise you just had there.
That was me.
Want to get news of the week? Slow news week. I feel like I say this every week, but Sony has officially acquired Haven Studios, which is just so weird to me, but this comes from VGC. Sony Interactive Entertainment has completed its acquisition of Haven Studios, the company announced on Monday. It originally confirmed plans to fund an original IP from the studio, which was co-founded by Ass Creed co-creator Jade Raymond back in March of 2021. And in March of this year, Sony said it planned to acquire the Canadian game studio for an undisclosed sum. I either blocked that out of my money, my memory,
Get your mind on your money, your money on your mind.
Out of my memory, or that's just when I was still drinking, so I just like forgot. Like, did you remember that this was a thing? I knew they were funding a game with them. I did not remember. They said they were going to buy them.
I think I knew that.
Yeah,
but
maybe it was just my dumb brain. Sorry, I got to turn the Nest back on because it's getting stuffy up here. Okay. To coincide with the completion of the deal, Raymond provided GamesIndustry.biz an update on the studio, which is making an original AAA multiplayer title for the PS5. Sony previously described the game as a, quote, a new live service experience for PlayStation built upon a systemic and evolving world focused on delivering freedom, thrill, and playfulness, end quote. That sounds like the most buzzwords I've ever heard.
That means absolutely nothing.
While Raymond didn't reveal much about the game in the new GI interview, she said Haven's workforce has grown from around 50 employees last October to now over 100. She said the company is heavily investing in research and development and, quote, long-term cloud innovation because we really believe it's going to be a game changer in terms of how games are made, end quote. 21 engineers have recently joined the studio to focus on cloud innovation, and Haven has hired Jalal, I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, I'm sure you're watching, Jalal El Mansouri, who was a technical architect on Ubisoft's Rainbow Six Siege, as principal, which they spelled wrong, architect for the studio, and also its head of R&D. Raymond also teased an exciting collaboration with PS5 architect Mark Cerny, who she said is having a big impact on the evolution of the studio. Quote, so Mark Cerny is one of the main reasons we're investing so much in R&D and in this very senior engineering team. It's not just tied to cloud, but also some forward-thinking R&D. I'm not able to say too much now, but that's obviously one of the other things that's been a big attractor and is exciting to our team at PlayStation, end quote. New PlayStation Studio Haven teases that was something I should have deleted. That was from when I copied it. That was like a thing. That was like a description for an image. I left it in there.
Hey, he'll read anything you put on the teleprompter.
Starting a new quote. Of course, Mark Cerny is kind of like a rock star too. So being able to collaborate with him is really exciting. And the fact that Jalal is joining, there are a lot of bold ideas that we're looking forward to exploring. So Haven has been acquired. Also, Sony did complete their acquisition of Bungie this week. That seems like, to me, that went through way quicker than I thought it would.
It went quicker than a lot of them do.
John Tingley, Knack 3 confirmed. Please, God, no. If that's the multiplayer live service game that Haven is working on, what are you doing? I appreciate the reference, though. I think first off, it's weird. They haven't created anything yet, but they talk about heavily investing in the cloud. They're working on a multiplayer game that's live service. We know Sony wants to put out, 5 or 10 live service games in the next 3 I can't remember what it was, so don't quote me. 3 or 4 years, something like that. This is one of them, obviously, but I'm more interested in the whole cloud aspect because we know from what I've heard from people, I think people in the chat have said this too, the streaming on PS4 and 5 with PS Plus is just as bad as when it was PlayStation Now. It sucks.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Also, don't forget, remember they announced like a year or two ago that they were actually partnering with Microsoft to leverage Azure, Microsoft Azure, and their cloud infrastructure and stuff, which I still think is so interesting to me, but whatever. I just think this is a weird acquisition. This is not like them getting Housemarque or Bluepoint or Nix has made sense because now they're going to start porting more stuff to PC. I get that.
It seems odd, but I feel like, I don't know. I trust them.
Yeah.
Like, they clearly see something out of them that they wanted to buy them, like, almost sight unseen. Just, we like what your ideas are, come on board. So I don't know, I trust them. It does seem a little weird. I don't know that I care. I'm still waiting for a multiplayer game to really hook me, and so as of right now I don't really care too much about whatever this game is going to be, but I want to be wowed. I want to like whatever it's going to be, but I just, as of right now, I just don't really care.
It's just interesting for me too because the only things we know about right now on PS5 after God of War comes out is Spider-Man 2 supposedly next year, which the more I think about that, I'm like, the way Insomniac goes, and they've got 2 separate teams, you know, Miles Morales didn't take much. They've reused the same map and stuff. Maybe they can get Spider-Man 2 out next year. Wolverine is 24 or 25, but like after God of War, those are the only 2 officially announced games that we know about. Naughty Dog has said they're working on a multiplayer game, which we know is Factions or whatever it's going to become, or, you know, whatever it's going to be called. That's the only game that I can think of right now that is announced. Well, we don't. Well, what am I saying? Like you were saying about the whole multiplayer thing. You want to be wowed. I feel like Factions is going to do that. I don't know if it's going to be a game for me. If it is like The Division in the world of The Last of Us, then okay, let's talk. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so John Tingley says PS Plus PS4 game streaming is great. The PS3 streaming is subpar. Chris says, I want to know what they're working on because just to buy them, like, it's got to be good, right? Exactly.
That's kind of my thoughts. Like, I trust them, but...
And Chris also says the PS3 streaming is garbage. So it's God almighty, put these games on PS5 and PS4, my God.
The only thing I've tried PS3 was Mega Man 10, which seems like that should be pretty easy. And it wasn't terrible, but like Mega Man is like you need to be able to just like.
There's no lag. You cannot have.
You can't have any.
Millisecond
and there was a little bit, and it was like it was too much, even for Mega Man. Like I can't imagine playing like God of War 3 or Resistance or whatever. Like any of those kinds of games where I'm just like, if you can't even get it right with Mega Man 10, I can't. It's not going to work for me. Well,
Resistance 3 is up there, right? But 1 and 2 aren't. So that would be interesting to see. And I never played 3. I hate that I didn't. I loved 1. I loved 2. I never got around to 3.
Yeah.
The ending of 2 was just so freaking cool. God almighty, bring Resistance back. But that's it. Haven, hope you're good. hope you're worth this purchase. Also, we don't know how much they paid, which I think is interesting. So it might not be a huge investment, but we'll see. Bungie, John says in the chat, Bungie is a fan of the Stadia streaming tech. I would like to see them try to move from Gaikai to the Stadia tech. Google Stadia is just the weirdest thing. Google just will create something and spend dozens of millions of dollars on it, and then just be like, whatever. We're moving on, you know? Yeah. Give it to just give it to Sony. Partner with Sony and let us use that. Let us. Wow. Talk about a fanboy comment. Wow. Let them use that. Next up, this is from the PS blog. As PlayStation announced the PlayStation Stars program. Can you tell it's a slow news week? Stars. God almighty. Dustin Furman was saying that he was playing through Resident Evil 3 because he's been playing through 1 and then 2 remake, and he got to 3 remake, and he's like, it only took me like 4 hours to beat this game, but it felt like the longest, like the quick time deaths and everything. I'm like, that was Resident Evil 2 remake is it's my favorite Resident Evil game ever, and 3 is definitely not that. Today, I'm pleased to reveal PlayStation Stars, a brand new loyalty program that celebrates you, the player, for being on this ever-growing gaming journey with us. PlayStation Stars will be free to join when it launches later this year. Once you become a member, you'll earn rewards by completing a variety of campaigns and activities. Our monthly check-in campaign simply requires you to play any game to receive a reward, while other campaigns require you to win tournaments, earn specific trophies, or even be the first player to platinum a blockbuster title in your time zone. Me and you for God of War. Let's go.
There's literally no chance, like...
In your whole time zone.
Right. I mean, clearly, it's just going to go to people that get review copies every single time.
Yeah.
Or, like, a developer... I mean, that's so stupid.
Barry getting the platinum in Habroxia 2 before
I like
anyone
the idea,
can even review it.
Right, yeah. I like the idea of rewards for getting the platinum in general,
Period,
but like the first in your time zone, like forget about it. It's not even worth trying.
All PlayStation Stars members will have opportunities to earn loyalty points. Points can be redeemed in a catalog that may include PSN wallet funds and select PlayStation Store products. As an additional benefit, PlayStation Plus members enrolled in PlayStation Stars. By the way, that name...
I don't like the name.
All I think is Stars.
Yeah.
Automatically earn points for purchases on PSN. Also, as part of PlayStation Stars, we are unveiling a new type of reward called Digital Collectibles. Collectibles are as diverse as our portfolio of products and franchises. They are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans enjoy, including figurines of beloved and iconic characters from games and other forms of entertainment, as well as cherished devices that tap into Sony's history of innovation. There will always be a new collectible to earn, an ultra-rare collectible to strive for, or something surprising to collect just for fun. First off, they said those are not NFTs. They got ahead of that real quick.
It sounded like that.
It smells of NFTs big time. But they came out.
I'm glad
and
to hear that.
But like, again, their PR is not the best. That should have been in there. They should have said something like, these are not NFTs, period.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Nintendo thing. So like when I bought the Cuphead DLC, somehow I had 500 reward points. I don't know why or how, but I did. So I got $5 off the Cuphead DLC. So I paid $2 for it, or $3, whatever it was. That's cool. But this whole digital crow. Oh, that's a new word. Digital collectibles are digitable. No, I can't say it. Digitables. It's cool, but like Chris was saying on Sacred Symbols, like he's been saying for a while that he thinks that with PSVR 2 launches, they're going to relaunch PlayStation Home. And then you've got like your own room you can walk around. I've got like a Kratos statue over here because I beat Sigrun, the Valkyrie
that
Queen.
would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. But otherwise, these digital collectibles doesn't do it for me. But what do you think of PlayStation Stars?
I hate the name, but I like the idea. I mean, I don't need any more motivation to go and get trophies, but I'll take it. If it's like, if I'm on the fence about, do I really want to platinum God of War? But if I find out, if you get the platinum,
you get $10 off another game or something.
Well, yeah, either like some kind of monetary reward, or even just like you said, a Kratos statue to put in your PlayStation Home, which I would probably be all about. I like it. I think the thing about getting the first platinum in your time zone, that's just so stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna bother. I think I was technically the first to get the platinum on the PS4 Super Baker, whatever.
Super Perils
of Baking. I do need to check and see if that's changed. But I mean, even then, like...
I don't think you're going to get a collectible for Super Perils.
A digitable?
A digitable. Would be Chris says in the chat, it would be cool to earn exclusive avatars and themes, plus maybe a PS Home new version. So, but now they've done this sometimes in the past. Like my avatar on PlayStation is like a Kratos emblem that's platinum because I got the platinum, and you got something like that for Bloodborne, I think, or no? Or did I make that up?
No, I think I just made my own.
Okay.
I think you were supposed to, but I think by the time I got the platinum,
Like
they weren't
4 years
doing it
later,
anymore
yeah.
or something weird like that.
But I did get one for God of War, and that's my avatar, and it's going to be my avatar until I get one for platinuming Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake, and I get an avatar of Snake or something. But so they have done some of that stuff in the past, but it was so few and far between. There's no consistency or anything there.
All right, I'm still number one. So
well, by now then,
yeah, you can't take that away.
Barry, so no one's going to get it. If you beat the guy that made the game, I think you've got the first platinum.
I beat him by 14 hours.
We got to work. We got to work on getting Colin back on, especially now to talk about getting married and everything. But that's something that you could get some kudos from him for getting the first PS4. But then he'll say, "Oh, did you get the PS5 platinum?"
Nope.
And you'll be like, "No, I did not even boot it up."
Nope.
But I don't know. I think there's potential here. We'll see when it launches. It's good that Sony's doing stuff like this. It boggles my mind that Nintendo doesn't have some kind of trophy system.
Yeah.
Like I predicted that at E3 4 years ago, maybe even 5, and I was like, I feel like this is the time because I think it was 5 years ago.
I feel like if they haven't done it yet,
Switch.
They're never going to.
No, they're not. And clearly they don't need to, but I just kind of wish they would. It's just that meta game, and to be Xbox did it first with achievements, and then Sony followed up with trophies. I just think the trophy system is so much better than achievements. I don't care about just getting a score. I want to get actual rewards that don't mean anything.
Right.
My name is Mayo3. Cannot believe I didn't know there was a run button.
I know. You can go back and do it again to see.
If they put it out on PS5, I will. I want an avatar for the Marvel's Avengers Platinum. John, you got that platinum? Holy crap.
Wow.
That is a whole lot of grinding from what I've heard. That's wild. Good for you. I don't want to play that game, but good for you. You deserve a freaking avatar for that. Holy crap. And the last item on the list. I meant to say last but not least. I'm tired. I said the last item on the list. NPD results are in for June 2022. Number 1, again, Elden Ring.
Love it.
Number 2, and again, this is just US. Number 2, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Number 3, Mario Strikers Battle League. Have you thought any more about that, or are you just like, nah, I'm good?
I just have no desire to play my Switch right now. Like, I like the idea of that game. I don't know that I'll ever play it. It was the same thing with Mario Golf. Like, I just don't... I don't know. I feel like there's just too much other stuff that I want to play.
Yeah. Number 4, MLB The Show 22. By the way, the Yankees kicked the Red Sox's asses yesterday.
Red Sox's?
Yep. Number 5, Overwatch. After the Overwatch 2 beta came out, that spiked the popularity of Overwatch 1. Ended up at number 5. That's pretty cool. Number 6, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're never getting 9, so don't even think about it. Number 7, Switch Sports. I'd like to see it hanging in there, although to me it's just one minigame. But I loved it for that one minigame. Number 8, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Number 9, Final Fantasy VII Remake. After the announcement of Rebirth, of course, that spiked interest in the original game. Final Fantasy VII Remake comes in at number 9. And every few months this happens. Number 10, Minecraft. Just never going to go away. I think the last update we got was 250 million. I wonder if they hit 300, because at some point there's only so many iPads and iPhones and consoles, and like you've already got it. I mean, I'm one to talk. My kids own it on PS4. Well, okay, PS4. They also play it on PS5. We didn't buy that separately, but we've got it on PS4. We've got it on Switch. It's Game Pass on the Xbox. I think all 3 of them have it separately on their iPads. Nick and Noah don't play it anymore, but Casey still does. Like, I'm part of the problem. I've bought that game at least 3 or 4 or 5 times. So
wow.
Some notes here, and this one kind of got kiboshed But Elden Ring was announced by the NPD Group is now being top 10 all-time in dollar sales in the U.S. when it comes to premium games. However, then they had an update come out and they said, well, we can't definitively say that because NPD tracking only goes back so far and we need to retract that statement. But the fact that it's even...
in the conversation...
this game is insane.
Like, what?
5 months.
5 months, yeah.
It's also been number one in dollars sold in the U.S. for 4 of the 5 months it was available. I think the 1 month it wasn't was Skywalker Saga. I think. And that's what I was going to say about Skywalker Saga. It doesn't seem like a lot of people really love this game, but it just keeps selling like crazy. So they did something right, or I'm just listening to the wrong people. I don't know. But the NPD Group also predicts that Elden Ring will end 2022 as the best-selling game in the U.S. That'll be the only the third time since 2009 that it won't be a Call of Duty game that finishes at number 1.
That's an insane stat, but
it makes
awesome
me happy.
For Elden Ring, yeah.
But also, Elden Ring came out the end of February, or was it early March? I forget what came out first, that or Horizon. I think
Horizon came out like
first.
a week before.
So it was early March then. Because Horizon was like the 28th.
Yeah, I think it was the
something.
first week of March.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been 4 months, really.
But so Modern Warfare is going to have, 10 weeks. It's Modern Warfare 2, though. That's the one thing I'm like, you might want to chill on that prediction because Modern Warfare 2 is going to sell bananas.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're predicting that because Modern Warfare is actually going to be on Game Pass and we just don't know it yet.
I don't think so.
I feel like they're under so much investigation as the Activision acquisition. I think that would just add more fuel to the fire. That they're like, no, we'll do it next year. We'll just wait till they're actually part of the family.
Part of the family.
Yeah. It was also announced that PS5 had the highest hardware dollars sold in June, as well as the entire first half of 2022. Surprising to me, but when it's $200 more than a Switch, I guess it makes sense. But the Switch led June, as well as the first half of 2022 in units sold. It's also surprising, though, with the PS5, the Xbox is way easier to get. The Series X costs the same as the PS5. But the Series S is $100 less than the PS5 digital, so maybe that evens it out. I don't know. But anything you want to talk about there with sales results for June from the NPD?
I mean, it's the same thing we keep saying. Minecraft keeps showing up. Mario Kart won't go away. At least GTA hasn't shown up in a while. But yeah, good for Elden Ring.
That's another game that I bought that I want to play through. The PS5 version of it. Damn it.
Yeah. Not to mention Ghost.
Never going back
Guardians.
to it. Probably not going back to it.
Horizon.
I don't know if I'm going back to it. Chris in the chat, Modern Warfare 2 is going to sell. It would be stupid to Game Pass it. I agree.
Yeah, there's no chance.
But it's some. Oh, and actually next year supposedly they're taking the year off, so it'll be 24 before we actually get a Call of Duty on Game Pass. Now, when the deal closes and Modern Warfare 2 is sold most of what it's going to sell, it'll probably go to Game Pass at that point.
Yeah, I think it will eventually, but not day one
this year. Yeah. Now it's time for the wrap up, Sean. TMNT Shredder's Revenge has passed 1 million copies sold. What did I say? Did I say Shredder?
No, I think it was revenge. It's like revenge.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge has sold 1 million copies.
That's awesome.
Makes me so happy. The Cuphead DLC has also sold 1 million copies. One was $25. One was $7 or $8, whatever it was. I still cannot believe that Studio MDHR only charged $7-8 for that. The game itself is way too cheap as well. That game is worth way more. But congrats to both of them. That's awesome. Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima showing, that was tough.
You got it.
It has sold 9.73 million copies.
It's pretty good.
To me, I would
I would have thought they would have cruised past 10 million already.
Because the last update we got on Last of Us 2 was 10 million sold, but that was like a year ago or something.
Right.
I kind of thought this would have sold more because of everything around The Last of Us 2. But speaking of The Last of Us, John says, not related to that, you need to go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Great
Yes.
game. And Chris says he agrees with John. I know. I should, especially because it's an easy platinum. But, yeah. Last of Us Part 1 has gone gold. A lot of haters. I get it if you hate it. I'm going to be there day one for $70.
So will I.
Also, speaking of The Last of Us, the HBO series is coming out early 2023. It was announced by Jeff Keighley. I think that's cool. I wonder if they wanted it to be this fall to coincide with Part 1.
I'm sure they did.
But they're probably like, we need to get Part 1 out and make the money, and then who cares if we don't have the synergy. It'll start selling again when the show comes out. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I hope it's good. Metal Gear had its 35th anniversary this past week. And as part of that, Konami announced that titles that were removed from digital stores will be coming back for sale. So that's mostly Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and all their different iterations, because there was historical footage that was in there that when they made these games 21 and 18 years ago, they weren't worried about like, well, we've got this archive footage, who cares? But now it's like, well, actually, there are rights to that, and you had to take it. That's why in November of 2021, they had to take the games down. They're coming back. But that was their big announcement. Not that they're working on a remake for the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, nothing
Heaven forbid
new.
you announce that. Just say the old games that we put out forever ago, you'll be able to buy them again.
Wait, so what are they doing about that then?
They're working out the right stuff. We assume,
okay.
or they're having to change the games and take that footage out. I don't know which it is, but it's one of the two.
Interesting.
I would think if you take the footage out, no one's going to even know it. I'm not going to know. It's not like Sonic Origins putting brand new music into the ice stage and stuff like that. Like it's not.
People will notice that.
Yes. Oh, and they did. But Sega has said, I didn't even put this in here, but Sega has said, like, okay, sorry, we hear you. We're working on fixing it.
Yeah.
But and not the music. They can't fix that, but just the rest of the games and the issues with them and stuff. They're never going to announce the Metal Gear remake. Square Enix has said that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is only coming to PS5 and not PS4 as well because of the speed of the SSD.
Good.
Thank you. Let's move on to the new gen, the current gen, next gen, whatever you want to call it. It was announced by Sega that the Genesis Mini 2 is coming to the US on October 27th. What's weird... Yes, Chris, we need a Metal Gear remake. Come on, Konami. What's weird about the Mini 2 Genesis? It's coming to the US. It's getting different games than the Mega Drive Mini 2. But it's an Amazon exclusive, and it's not sold by Amazon US. It's sold by Amazon Japan. So the cost of this thing, the original Genesis Mini, I forget if it was 70 or 80. 42 games, 2 controllers, but the crappy 3-button. This comes with one 6-button controller. They have not announced Super Street Fighter 2 yet. They're giving us a 6-button controller. It's going to be on there. But it's sold by Amazon Japan, so it's like $103.24. It ships from Japan. There's no Prime shipping, so it's $21.99 to ship it from Japan. So this thing is going to cost $125.
I have a hard time...
October 27th.
I feel like a lot of the game, and I don't remember what was even on the first one, but I feel like a lot of the games that weren't on the first one probably weren't on there because they couldn't be for like licensing and rights kind of stuff. I feel like the library on this one is going to be subpar.
So the games that are announced for the Genesis Mini 2 in the US are Afterburner 2, Alien Soldier,
Okay.
Bonanza Brothers, Fantasy Zone, a Genesis port of the arcade game, Lightning Force, The Quest for Dark Star. I remember Lightning Force being cool, but I can't even picture what the hell it is.
Is it the shooter?
Yeah. Mansion of Hidden Souls for Sega CD, Night Striker, The Ninja Warriors, The Ooze, one of your personal favorites, Outrun, hell yeah.
Okay.
Outrunners, hell yeah.
Okay.
Rainbow Islands Extra, I don't know. Rolling Thunder 2, I don't know. Shining Force CD. RPG.
Yeah.
Okay. Shining in the Darkness. RPG. Yeah. Sylpheed on Sega CD. Do you remember that? That game was cool as hell when it came out. Shooter with like vector graphics and stuff like that. It was so freaking cool.
I remember the name, but that's it.
Sonic 3D Blast.
Okay.
the worst of all the Sonic 16-bit games. I think we can all say that. Even worse than the first.
The second verse worse than the first.
Didn't we say that in the Let's Play?
We did for some reason.
Sonic CD, obviously from the Sega CD. Splatterhouse 2, that's cool. Star Mobile, no idea. Super Hang-On, that's cool. That's cool.
That's not cool.
Vector Man 2, that's cool.
Was 1 on the first one?
Yep.
Okay.
And Virtua Racing so far. So they've got like 22 more games to announce, or 20 games or something.
I mean, that's not bad. I've at least heard of.
But like I assume Streets of Rage,
of those.
Streets of Rage 3 will be there. Because Streets of Rage 2 was on the first one.
Okay.
I don't think Streets of Rage 1 was. I can't remember. I don't know about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think with 3D Blast and CD, you don't have to do Sonic 3 and Knuckles, especially now that they've got the Origins
Spinball
thing out there. Sonic Spinball was on the first one. I can't remember. I can go look at the box. But like like Super Street Fighter 2 is going to be on there. That was already announced for Japan. They haven't announced it for the US yet.
Oh, okay.
They're giving you a 6-button controller. It's going to be there. Ooh, Japan's also getting Fatal Fury 2. I was like, oh, come on. Please. Wow. I love Fatal Fury 2. So I'm undecided right now if I'm going to get it or not. I'm going to end up getting it, even for that ridiculous price tag.
I mean, your birthday's right after. Just
use birthday money. God, we're such giant children. But I want to see the full games list before I go all in. Skate 4 is now just Skate, and it's a freaking free-to-play game, but they say there will not be pay-to-win mechanics. Yeah. Okay. 343 did a live stream where they showed off campaign co-op before the public test, which I think has actually already started. I think that originally they said it was going to be this coming week, but I think it's actually live now. Should have been there from the beginning. As Chris Raygun keeps saying, like...
Halo.
What did I say?
You didn't say anything.
Oh, Halo. Sorry. Well, 343.
Well, yeah.
Forza Horizon 5 was tearing the world up when it came out. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, hey, Halo multiplayer's here. It's like you cut that game off. Like, people, that won IGN's freaking game of the year. Halo Infinite was clearly not ready to go. You didn't have the Forge. You didn't have campaign co-op. There were a lot of other issues. Multiplayer was very limited. Chris Raygun said, you should have just delayed it another year. You knew Starfield was never coming out this November. You should have just delayed Halo one more time and have it come out when it's freaking perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm glad campaign co-op is at least coming finally. Final Fantasy 16, it was announced, is not going to be open world because they said it, quote, would have taken 15 years to make, end quote. I love that it's not open world. Final Fantasy 7 was an open world, and I freaking loved it. Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
I don't know. But 7 was kind of open world. It was just a very small world. This, I'm worried this is going to be like 13. 10, to some extent, was kind of open world, kind of not. It was very like, you go from here to there, and here's a path.
Right.
And there's an occasional thing that branches off, whatever. But like the whole game, other than a couple areas, you're just following a path.
Right.
So it's kind of open, kind of not. 13 was like linear, and I don't know that you could ever go back. I think when you're done with that area, you're done. And
Wasn't
I hope
15
that's not
something
what this
like
is.
it was, or maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Because you were talking about it, that you thought this is how Metal Gear should have been done. Metal Gear 5 should have been done. That it's like open for a lot of it, and then it kind of funnels you into the story. And then you go from there. Like when you get close to the end game, it's like there's no more open world stuff. You are on
What are you
the
talking
path.
about?
One of the Final Fantasy games was like that. But I can't remember if it was 15.
15 was,
okay.
yeah. It was open world, and then you kind of cross this one thing, and then it's like you're in the end game now.
That's what Metal Gear Solid 5, best playing Metal Gear ever. Not the best story. And that's what they should have done. If you want it to be open world, have that be chapter 1, go through all that stuff. But now it's like, okay, now you're on the critical path. There's no more do this mission, replay this, S-rank this. No. Now we're going to focus it and we're going to land this freaking plane. And they didn't land it with the story.
Yeah.
I like the twist, but the story did not land overall. Nintendo is acquiring a Japanese CG company called Dynamo Pictures, and they're renaming them Nintendo Pictures Corporation. So obviously, they're really going to go into all this movie stuff after this.
I hope we get a Donkey Kong movie.
Bayonetta 3 is out October 28th, so Sean's going to get that game
I need
added
it to be a 100
to his fantasy list, although he has already, we picked 13 games. He's already got 4 that are not coming out this year, so he's going to get a 0, at least 1 0. Hogwarts Legacy is still up in the air, too.
What 4 did I miss? That seems ridiculous that a third of my games didn't come out this year.
I can tell you. The 4 games were...
I know Forspoken. Zelda, which was always...
Breath of the Wild 2 was your number 6 pick. Or no, your number 5 pick. Forspoken was your number 6 pick. Great back-to-back picks there.
Nailed it.
Sea of Stars, your 11th pick, and then Final Fantasy 16, your late-round pick.
I was swinging for the fences. Yeah. I should have just tried to hit some singles.
Breath of the Wild 2. So my only games that are not coming out this year are Starfield, and Street Fighter 6. God of War Ragnarok is coming out this year, so is Splatoon 3. So I'm going to be able to take... The way we did it, we all picked 13 games. You take your best 10 scores. You drop 3. You can't.
So one of my 10 best is a 0.
So you need Bayonetta or Sparks of Hope or Hogwarts Legacy to come in at 100.
I need them all to be like at least 90s, and I need... How many more games do you have still to come?
Splatoon 3 and God of War.
Well, okay.
That's at least an 80 and at least an 85 to a 90.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool that Bayonetta is coming out this year. Also, the original Bayonetta is getting a standalone physical release on September 30th for $29.99. It used to be on Switch you could...
That's not what I'm thinking about.
I'm like, let me explain this, Sean.
What are your thoughts, maybe for the patrons, any of them that are interested?
Are you trying to get one more game?
No.
Okay.
Next year, we do a bigger draft. So it's not just 2 people, and we probably maybe pick like 5 games each. Because if we're all picking 14, we're going to run out of games by like the 3rd round.
I would freaking love that. We all get on a Zoom call and pick them.
Yeah.
Hell, yeah, let's freaking do that.
Okay. I like it.
Maybe not 5. Maybe we get to 10, though.
10's going to be tough.
Maybe 8, and we drop 3, and we keep our best 5 or something.
Yeah, we'll
figure
the
it
details,
out. But that'll be a lot of fun.
If y'all are interested.
Yeah, we'll get a time when most of everybody can get on there, and then I'll... Yes, that sounds freaking awesome. Good job. Kirby's Dream Buffet was announced. It's coming out this summer. Nintendo says that you will, quote, roll through delicious food-themed obstacle courses in 4-player matches. What the hell? Kirby just rolls around and collects strawberries. I don't understand what this game is.
This sounds like a mobile game.
Yeah, I don't know why this is coming to Switch. Multiversus is getting an open beta on July 26th. Rumbleverse is out August 11th. These tweets got retweeted by Wario kind of back to back, and I was like, oh, Multiverses is coming out August 11th. And then I looked at it and I was like, that doesn't look like Multiverse. And I was like, oh, this is that freaking open world wrestling game. Open world wrestling battle royale
world
game. Yes.
No, I don't remember that. I think I blocked that out.
As you should have. Yeah, Chris is in. Supermassive has been acquired by Denmark-based Nordisk Games. Okay. Better than Xbox or Sony buying them.
Excuse me.
And finally, we did get some confirmed new games for PS Plus Extra and Premium as of July 19th. Stray, Marvel's Avengers, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Integrate. We talked through some of these last week, but these games are now officially confirmed. AC Unity, AC4 Black Flag, AC Rogue Remastered, AC Freedom Cry, AC The Ezio Collection, Saints Row 4 Reelected, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, Spirit of the North Enhanced, this is where it kind of goes off a cliff, Ice Age, Scrat's Nutty Adventure. Maybe it's an easy platinum.
Maybe.
Jumanji the Game, Paw Patrol on a Roll.
I've already checked. There's not a platinum for that.
Damn it. If Peppa Pig can get a platinum, why does Paw Patrol not? Ready, Set, Heroes. And also for the PSP, for Premium, it was announced No Heroes Allowed and Loco Roco Midnight Carnival.
Not that I've ever... I just said earlier, I've never played any of these. I don't even remember Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry.
I don't either.
Okay.
James,
so
it's
not just me.
No. Rogue, I remember. I think Rogue was the last one to come to PS3, and then it got remastered on PS4 and Xbox One, I think. The Ezio Collection, I know that. But, yeah, Freedom Cry, I'm not sure what that is. So, not a great... there's some big games in there. Stray's good. I can't wait to play that. Avengers, whatever. Final Fantasy VII Remake is awesome, but I feel like most people, if they wanted to play it, they've already played it. And then 2 PSP games that no one cares about. Like, you could have done better for the premium tier.
I mean, there's a lot of Assassin's Creed games on there,
but that's all on
they
extra.
put the whole. Well, yeah, that's true.
They put the whole what?
I was gonna say they put like the whole AC catalog
Yeah.
on there, which is nice, but yeah.
Agreed. Get better with the premium games so I can upgrade
And figure out how to
more dollars.
run PS3 natively.
Yeah. Add Metal Gear Solid 1 with trophies, please, and let me download it. Well, I guess I will be able to download if it's yeah, because it's only PS3. Yeah, do that and I'll upgrade.
Oh, Freedom Cry's DLC for Black Flag.
There you go. But it might also add a standalone release. Yeah, I guess it must have if it's listed separately here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode of called 289. I don't know what I said. That's it for episode 289. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you to the patrons. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We're going to go record a secret versus episode, which I kind of basically spelled out.
We will
what
spare
it is.
no expense.
Damn it, Sean. That'll be up this Friday. But until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.